Love Nigeria oven baked fish rolls. And one thing I love about this one is that I'm not going to need to fry any fish. You won't fry any fish. You're not making any filling. So you need to stick around to find out what we did. I'm using 400 grams of flour to like 150 grams of butter and half tablespoon of baking powder. I didn't use salt because my butter is salted. But if you're going to use salt, don't use more than half teaspoon. So after mixing my flour till crumbly, I'm going to add cold water. I'm using half cup of cold water. I'm not using the usual ratio 1:2 for this recipe because I want my fish roll to look smooth. I really don't want it to look that cracked, you understand? So I'm going to knead my dough a bit and wrap it in a film and keep it in the fridge to sit for like 30 minutes. If you know you do not have time, you can keep it in the freezer for 15 minutes. It will be better. So this is me rolling my dough after kneading it into my fingers, and I'm going to now keep it in my film and set it in the fridge. If this is your first time of stopping by my channel, you're so welcome. And if you've been here before, good to have you here once again. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe to Debbie's Kitchen, do like and share, do thumbs up this video, do comment, tell me what you think about this recipe. Now we are using sardine, and I'm using 2 packs of sardine or containers of sardine, anyhow you want to put it. I'm going to just strain the oil for me. This oil is highly nutritious. Then I'm going to take it out of the container and just place it in a wide plate, specifically a wide plate for me. Then I'm going to do the same to the other sardine. Why I like a wide plate is because it makes it easy for me to take out the bones and it makes it easy for me to mesh. So for me, that one is enough. So after taking out the oil, I'm going to do the same to this one and put it in the plate. One thing I noticed about this sardine, I don't understand. How come this one has plenty fish inside? Why the other one? This one had like 4 fishes. Why the other one had 2? Is it because the other one is fatter than this one? See, push come and see. See this one, I removed 4. And the other one, I removed 2. As in, I don't understand. Anyway, this is me taking out the bones. There is this bones at the middle of sardine with some thing. I don't know what I used to say it. I don't like it. I must take it out of my sardine. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can decide to leave it. So I'm adding in half teaspoon of cayenne pepper, as in red correct pepper, and a little bit of chopped spring onions and chopped red onions. So I'm going to mash it all into my sardine. Add some of the oils into the sardine just to give it some level of moisture so that it won't be dry. Then our filling is ready. Shikina, as in so if you want to make fish roll and you don't have fish, you're like, can I really have fish roll for my family? My dear, if you have sardine, you are good to go. Just 2, you will see the quantity of fish rolls that came out at the end of the day. So now I've gone to take out my dough from the fridge. It's okay. After like 15 to 30 minutes, I'm going to now roll till 10. So this is the highlight of this video. This is the time you should adjust yourself and sit down. Don't be in a hurry. This is where you find out how we get our sardine, how we cut our fish rolls, how we trim, all the tips and tricks. This is where it is. So this is after rolling my dough till thin. Your dough must be thin. For fish roll, your dough should be thin because you are rolling it. If it is too thick, you roll it, your fish roll will come out too heavy. So I had to roll it to be as thin as possible, and I'm trimming the edges. Trimming the edges of your dough makes it look neater, so you can't skip it. If you don't trim it, your fish roll won't look neat. I'm still rolling it again, spreading it to make it to be as thin as possible, because since I am rolling it a couple of times when I add in my filling, I wouldn't want it to be too thick. So now this is me adding my filling. The 2 packs of sardine was just enough. It was enough, as in I had to add generous amounts of filling to this fish roll recipe. Look at me adding generous amounts of filling, as in now with the pepper, sardine has its own flavor that even if you eat it alone with bread, you will enjoy it. So imagine it in your fish roll. So the first rolling, you make sure that you make it as thin as possible, and you go on to roll 2 more times, making 3 times. Now you can see the fish roll. I made it slim, and I used the other part of my cutter just to cut, to give it a little bit of design. You can use your knife and just cut it straight. I'm just trying to do some unique design on my fish roll. You can see how smooth it's looking. That's what I wanted. That's why I had to knead my dough, and I didn't use so much butter. So that's for that. So now we are cutting our fish roll to be like 3.5 inches, between 3.5 inches to 4 inches. So when I cut out the first one, I will just use it to measure all the way through to make sure that all the fish rolls that I'm going to make today comes out the same size. We don't want one fish roll looking bigger than the other. Even if it looks bigger than the other, the difference will not be so much. It will not be so much. So this is me. You can see both of them looks equal. You can see that. So I'm going to use my fork just to poke a hole at the center of my fish roll. This is actually optional. You may decide to do it, you may not, but I just felt I wanted my fish roll to look a little bit unique. You understand what I'm saying? So that's for that. We are done with these remaining parts of the dough. We did cut the fish roll from earlier. I'm just adding more filling, more sardine filling into it also to roll. And this one also we got so out of it. So that is how you make your yummy fish roll recipe. This fish roll recipe is so nice because having sardine in your fish roll is something that you will love it alongside with the onions. And my dear, you can add whatever you like. If you want to add soya spice, if you anything, just do your thing, as in you will love it. And whatever you think will give your filling a unique taste. If you know, so you know if you do wala of making Nigerian fish roll filling. But mind if you say, Madam, this is your style, I no fit to. I want to do my own filling. Don't worry, there are lots of videos on this channel that will teach you how to do your fish roll filling in a unique way. I'm going to put the link in the description box and you can check them out. Different methods. Choose the one you want. Debbie's kitchen is loaded. Not be so. So that is it. So I'm done with this one again, cutting it all the way through and using the previous fish rolls I made to also measure to make sure that they all look fairly equal. The smaller part of it, I'll keep it for my kids. I do not like loosening that one and mixing it with the other dough because from experience, I realized that the whole fish doesn't come out of the dough and it ends up messing the other dough up so they won't look neat. So those were the last two ones, the two I made. I didn't trim them because my flour had gotten finished, so I just left them like that. That's why they are not as smooth as straight as the others, but they are okay. And those are the smaller ones that I cut out of the first two sets. Those ones are also okay for my kids. So I'm going to bake this in my electric oven at 180 degrees Celsius for no more than 35 minutes. This thing doesn't take time. Put it at the center of your oven and you are good to go. And boom! After 35 minutes, this is what we got at the end of the day. This looks so good. Can't you see? It looks so good. So good. It is light. It is this. I love the size. It's just okay. And take a closer look. Oh my God. Comment and tell me what you think about this recipe. Do like, share, and subscribe. And see you in my next one. Bye-bye. Good to have you here. See you next time.